In April 2026, observers described a decisive turning point in the escalating conflict between Buckingham Palace and the House of Sussex. During an appearance in Melbourne, Australia, Prince Harry reportedly initiated a series of controversial actions that critics argued directly challenged the foundations of the British royal family. The sequence of events began at an international mental health summit associated with the Movember campaign, attended by more than 5,000 experts and senior delegates. As keynote speaker, Harry was said to have delivered remarks that many interpreted as deeply damaging to the public. Image of King Charles III. He was reported to have stated that he had needed to cleanse himself of his royal past in order to become a better father. In doing so, he allegedly described emotional distance from his son Archie, attributing it to what he characterized as a rigid and emotionally detached upbringing under his father. According to reports, the most contentious aspect of his speech involved the use of archival footage and childhood photographs of himself and Prince William. These materials, including images of the brothers walking behind Princess Diana's coffin, were presented as evidence of what Harry described as systemic childhood trauma. Commentators suggested that publicly framing William within this narrative, particularly in a setting linked to commercial partnerships, broke long-standing expectations of privacy between the brothers. At the same time, Meghan Markle was reported to have launched a parallel commercial initiative. During a visit to a children's hospital, critics alleged that the appearance functioned as a promotional opportunity tied to an AI-driven fashion platform in which she was said to hold an investment. Shortly after images of the visit were circulated under her royal title, her social media accounts reportedly featured Shop the Look links, enabling followers to purchase her clothing and accessories for commission-based earnings. Observers in London characterized these actions as a direct violation of royal conventions, which traditionally prohibit the use of royal titles for personal financial gain. The timing also drew criticism, as the visit occurred while Catherine, Princess of Wales, was absent from public duties due to cancer treatment. Analysts argued that the Sussex's activities, such as hospital visits and ceremonial gestures, closely resembled official royal engagements, creating confusion among the international public. Royal commentator Rebecca English reportedly linked these developments to the previously rejected half-in, half-out model, which had been formally dismissed by Queen Elizabeth II during the Sandringham Summit in 2020. Meanwhile, reports from Sydney suggested that a luxury wellness retreat hosted by Meghan was struggling to sell tickets despite limited capacity and high prices, fueling public skepticism in Australia about the commercialization of aristocratic titles. Simultaneously, legal scrutiny in the United States began to intensify. A policy institute reportedly called for the release of Harry's visa records, citing discrepancies between his public admissions of past drug use in his memoir Spare and the declarations required under U.S. immigration law. Analysts suggested that, if inconsistencies were confirmed, the situation could pose serious legal risks, potentially including deportation proceedings. Back in London, Prince William was said to have abandoned his previously restrained stance. Reports indicated that he reacted strongly to the use of private childhood material, interpreting it as both a personal betrayal and an institutional threat. He was described as initiating a comprehensive review of the Sussex titles and their usage, with the aim of severing any remaining connection between the monarchy and the couple's commercial activities. Sources suggested that William framed the issue as one of constitutional importance rather than personal grievance. He reportedly argued that the monarchy must remain entirely separate from commercial interests, warning that blending royal identity with corporate ventures risked undermining its neutrality. Particular concern was said to focus on high-profile deals with companies such as Netflix and the promotion of lifestyle brands. In response, William was believed to be advocating for strict limitations on the commercial use of royal titles, potentially including legal measures to prevent their association with marketing campaigns. His position, according to insiders, emphasized that titles were intended for public service rather than private profit. On a personal level, William was also reported to have rejected the psychological narrative presented by his brother. Through indirect channels, he conveyed that while their mother's death had been a shared tragedy, it did not justify the continued public commercialization of that experience. He was said to view his upbringing as formative rather than damaging, highlighting resilience and duty over victimhood. Practical measures were also reportedly under consideration. These included withdrawing any remaining forms of royal logistical support, restricting access to royal properties, and reviewing Harry's honorary roles and position within the line of succession. Officials suggested that William regarded the Sussexes' activities as an attempt to establish a shadow monarchy, potentially undermining the authority of King Charles III. As tensions spread internationally, public reaction appeared divided. However, traditionalists expressed reassurance at what they viewed as a firm defense of institutional boundaries. Meanwhile, declining commercial performance and increasing legal scrutiny suggested mounting pressure on the Sussexes' broader strategy. In the United States, the visa controversy gained further momentum, with legal experts emphasizing that immigration law requires full disclosure of past drug use. Observers noted that the outcome of the case, expected later in 2026, could have significant implications for Harry's residency status. At the same time, financial indicators pointed to challenges in sustaining the couple's business ventures. Reports of unsold tickets and critical media coverage in Australia contributed to a narrative of diminishing public enthusiasm. Analysts argued that the reliance on high-profile visibility created a cycle in which controversy became necessary to maintain relevance. Within palace circles, the response strategy was described as increasingly deliberate and restrained. Rather than engaging publicly, officials focused on reinforcing the distinction between official royal duties and independent celebrity activities. Efforts were reportedly made to prioritize the visibility of senior working royals, particularly in anticipation of Catherine's eventual return to public life. As the situation evolved, commentators concluded that the original Sandringham framework had effectively collapsed. In its place, a more rigid separation appeared to be emerging, designed to protect the monarchy from reputational and legal risks. Measures such as reducing official references to the Sussexes and limiting institutional support were interpreted as part of a broader containment strategy. Ultimately, the unfolding developments were seen as marking a fundamental shift in the relationship between the Sussexes and the royal institution. While the broader public debate continued, the prevailing message from palace sources suggested a clear and enduring principle. Participation in royal life required full commitment to its rules, and any attempt to combine it with commercial enterprise would no longer be tolerated.